Hey guys, Greg Bridgewater back here. Going to show you guys today about tire balancing. Probably one of the most overlooked aspects of drag tires that I've seen in a while. And I thought that we'd make a video and I would show you guys how I do it and the methods and the stuff that I used to do it with and just kind of go over why you want to balance and what it means and the performance gains you can see from that. All right. Okay, guys. So tire balancing. If you're drag racing, you should be balancing all your tires. They spin at speeds, you're going 55, 60 mile an hour and up. If your tires are out of balance, it's costing you ET and mile an hour because the vibration and the whop is what I call it, caused from an out of balance tire, slows your car down, and you can't get the full potential out of your car if you got out of balance tires. And this goes for the front and the back. A lot of emphasis on the back, but the fronts, if you have an out of balance front tire, it can cause you to be squirrely on the top end. It can cause all kinds of issues with steering, and you could be chasing your car in one area, and it all comes right back down to you didn't balance the front tires. So this is a very important aspect of it, and we need to be doing it. If you race RC cars like off-road or dirt oval, you've probably been around long enough that you do balance, and you all know that that even those cars not going near as fast as a drag car goes, it makes a huge difference in them. So how do I balance my tires? There's a few different ones out there. You can buy a standalone handheld balancer that is basically like an axle in a bearing in a handle. I just use a cheap magnetic prop balancer, and what this is it's got a magnet in each end, here and here, that this spindle or little axle there floats in. So when that floats in there, there's no friction really between the magnets and the spindle, so works real good for balancing your tires, because there's no friction to slow it down during that process. I've seen the kind with the rollers on it; those work real good. But there again, this here is a top flight PowerPoint precision balancer. I think it costs like $15 at Hobbytown, and very good tool to have in the box. I take it with me wherever I go. It breaks down, and it has like a clamshell design, so you can just put it in your box. So I got my tires here. My last videos I showed how I mounted up my DE tires, my DE Street Outlaw tires, and this video, any tire we run, whether it be the bigger SC size tire, a stadium truck size tire, or these, this goes for all of it. So the first thing I want to do is, you'll notice on the back of your rims in the hex there, that inner lip is free of burrs and is perfectly round inside there. The molding inside. And you'll notice these caps here that hold the wheel on, they're pointed. What I do is I take the hex side, put it on the spindle up to the point. So that point's going to center up and center that wheel up perfect. Then I take on the other side, the flat side of the cap, mount it up in there like that. All right. And I just put your tire in, and you can see there I give it just a little bit of a spin ever so slightly to get the tire going, moving around. And you can see it there. It's going to, whenever it comes to a stop, the heaviest point of that tire and wheel assembly, the heaviest point will be at the bottom. So when we go to add weight, we're going to add weight directly 180 degrees from that point. And how much weight do you add? It's, you have to do a few of them so you can kind of get accustomed to it, to, kind of get a feel for how much a tire may take. So let me get this over here a little closer up. All right, everything's come to a rest there, and it wasn't like whopping real bad or spinning real bad, trying to fall real heavy to the heavy side. This right here is tire balancing clay. You can use silly putty, you can go to Hobby Lobby, you can get just regular modeling clay, whatever you prefer. This here is from Team Losi. This is a Team Losi tire balancing clay. I like it because it's more like modeling clay, where it's kind of sticky. It doesn't harden up, Silly putty's kind of the same way. Silly putty's tough in the respect of when you pull silly putty apart, it's on a string. Well, I don't like the stringiness. I like the modeling type clay stuff here, and you can get that online, like at A-Main, or you can go to Hobbytown if you have a Hobbytown in your area. They'll usually carry this stuff. And to start off with, I'm going to take and pinch me off a little bit here, just a little bit. And now, so this is the light side, because the heavy side's going to fall to the bottom here. The lighter side's going to be on the top. So my weight that I'll put in it is going to be on that top side. So how I do it, so I lose the spot or whatever, is I put my finger, on the top, and grab it like this, and then I'll take and put my clay down on the inside against the back face of the rim and the outer shell there, or the inner, right in that crease there, and I'll just push it in there and stick it. Centrifugal force is what makes that weight always stay in there. It's not going to come out. And then I'll stick it back on the balancer. And if you look up in here, you can kind of see, there's the weight. You can see the weight up in there. It's coming to a rest. All right. So I'm going to take about half as much as I used the first time. And come up in here, because you can see there where I put the next piece at, because the weight, it was heavy, just in a little bit different spot. So I'm going to give it just a little touch there to let that roll around. All right, grabbing the top side there like this. And you can see now where my finger's at, my weight's down here now. So I obviously have a little bit too much weight on it. So I take me a screwdriver, a little flat blade screwdriver, and I'm just gonna go in there and just dig a little bit out. So I dug a little bit of weight out and repeat the process. Oop. Let that tire roll around and find its natural heavy spot. This is called static balancing. We don't have dynamic balancers like the tire shop that you go have tires put on your street car. The balancers like they use is called a dynamic balancer, which spins the wheel up to a certain RPM and figures out how much weight for the technician to put on. So we're static balancing. So tires come to a stop. Now, where my finger's at, you can see I took maybe a little bit too much out. So I'm going to take and put half as much as I took out back in it. And you're not going to get it just dead perfect. You know, it's not going to be just dead perfect. But by doing this, you're getting it better than if you didn't do it at all. And the idea is not to be just dead on, just dead nut perfect, but the idea is to get it pretty close to balanced. So when you're running down the track at 55, 60 mile an hour on the top end, things just don't start shaking themselves apart. Because if you've ever had a car, a street car, with an out of balance tire, you know what kind of damage that can cause. And it's hard on your bearings, hard on your drive shafts, your CVDs. It's hard on everything. So, tire came to a stop there. Here, there again, where my finger's at. Marking, you know, my finger being the reference of where the heavy spot was at. Looks like I still need to put a little bit more in. I'm going to take a little bit more. I've had tires and stuff bad enough before. I've had to put weight in 3 different spots. But when I was done, they ran smooth and true. So now, getting just a little bit of backwards rotation out after it was spinning forward. I think we hit the balance pretty dang close. And I'm going to call that good. That's pretty dang close. That's, if I stuck these on the car and hit the throttle on it, you shouldn't be, you know, I don't want to be able to feel any kind of vibration out of them tires. And you can tell when you get it close because you can move it to a spot and it's not going to roll. Move it to a spot, not going to roll. That sucker's pretty well, that's almost perfect. And that's it. That's how you balance your tires. Very important, fronts and backs. Need to do them all. And how much weight do we wind up putting in there? After I get done, I kind of press the clay into the back edge of the rim there. We had to put weight in 2 different spots on this particular tire and wheel. And not a lot, but enough. If you didn't do it, these would vibrate on the big end and cause your car to go out of control and also be hard on your parts and cause all kinds of damage. So there you have it, right there. All right. Thank you guys. Till next time. I'm planning on doing some more of these videos, and if you haven't already, hit the like button on there, subscribe, and visit on Facebook Undercover RC Drag Wings. Right there, you'll be able to see everything that we're working on and the new stuff we're coming out with.